Welcome to Lineups and Lures, where the talk runs from the dugouts to drift boats. We're all about the games we play and the waters we fish, the stories, the rivalries, the moments that keep us coming back. If it happens under the lights or out on the water, we're in. This is Lineups and Lures. Well, we got a special double episode for you guys today.
Okay.
So coming up, me and Chris are gonna talk a little bit about some NCAA baseball and
Could talk a lot about some NCAA baseball.
some Mariners baseball, and then after, we have an interview with Tony, the co-founder of SolVita Wellness Spa, talking a little bit about all the spa services, the saunas, the massage rooms, everything that they got going on at SolVita. So stay tuned after the baseball talk, and we'll get to SolVita. But let's get into this NCAA Regionals, which I got to tell you is one of my favorite times of the year. Being able to watch college baseball all day long it's clearly growing in popularity. I mean, ESPN's televising or streaming everything. These games are fantastic. There's upsets. It might be better than March Madness. Well, as a baseball guy, it definitely is.
Well, that's not even a question. I don't think I watched one game of March Madness. Yes, this is a pretty special time of year.
Yeah, it's great. Which why I'm just disappointed in some of the decisions that the committee made.
So I think disappointed is a good word to use. I think both of us are smart enough and have been around baseball a long, long time to know why the things happened that they happened.
Yes.
But we should probably spell that out for the audience and kind of walk through what happened, why it happened, and potentially how to either A, fix it in the future, or B, how it's going to continue to bite a certain team, Oregon State, right in the rear end. So
yes.
Let's dive into that.
Well, so obviously we're not in the room, and nobody's in the room with the committee other than the committee members. And so we don't really know what's going on.
And neither was anybody from Oregon State or the Pac-12 or whatever, and that's half the problem.
And that's the problem is you go back to the year that they missed the regionals completely. Right. I want to say it was 2017.
It had to be 17. It was the year before they won it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or was it 16?
I think it was. Yeah, it was right around that time. But the big argument was that the athletic director from University of Washington didn't do enough to promote the Beavers to make the regionals, and therefore they missed the field of 64. So this year, 2 years in a row now, we don't have a conference. So right. There is no commissioner from the conference to get in there and an athletic director to represent. So how do you go from being a top 10 team in the coaches polls, which I got to tell you, I don't really pay much attention to the coaches polls. I do preseason to kind of get a sense of who's going to be good, and then I like to see them at the end to, see if they got it right. How do you go from being a top 10 team all season to basically ending up somewhere between a 20 and a 25 seed? How does this happen? How does the NCAA allow this to happen? And it's not just Oregon State that has the beef. USC, they ended up as a 2 seed. They were a top 10 team most of the season and a very talented team that can make a deep run in Omaha. Mercer wins their mid-major regular season conference championship.
Mercer's a little different, but okay.
Wins 44 games, doesn't make the tournament. Not even as the 64th team in. They don't make the tournament. Michigan makes a great run at the, Big 10 or Big 12, whatever. Make it all the way to the championship. They don't make the field. It's just, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that room and start really understanding what goes into this.
Well, I think the answer is quite simple. Money. There is...
Wait, you don't want Michigan in this? You don't want Oregon State hosting? Is it just not a big enough stadium?
Well, I think it's more about the television, and I think you probably get more eyeballs. Let's back this up a little bit. Let's not dive straight into that. First of all, I think we need to talk about the poll situation. I actually disagree with you a little bit. I do pay attention to the coaches' polls. I think they, quite frankly, should be weighted heavily. These are the guys that actually know what they're doing. I mean, not some administrator sitting in a booth or sitting in a room smoking cigars, drinking whiskey or whatever. I don't know how these things are done, but I think at the end of the day, to focus on Oregon State for this part of the conversation, this is something I saw coming.
Yes.
you and I, not necessarily on air, but off air, have spoken about this countless times. And the fact of the matter is the competition they played was subpar. There are very few teams that they played this year that I would have normally gone to watch them play. And this is a problem with the breakup of the Pac-12. I got to tell you, even though we have a conference next year again, the competition is not even close to what it used to be.
But it never will be. Like, we have to move on from that.
Well, and I think that's the bigger question here is I'm going to say this on air. I think Oregon State baseball's done. I think they are.
I think you're wrong.
Well, I hope so. Please, yeah. I would love to be wrong. Nothing would make me happier than to be wrong on this one. But I believe it's going to die a slow death. I believe you are going to slowly get less and less recruits, and I'll tell you why. Because of exactly what just happened today. And if you're a father or a mother and you're sitting down with your son and they are potentially a professional baseball player and want to play Division I baseball at a high level, going to Omaha is like bucket list deal. Winning's one thing, but just getting to go is a bucket list deal. And this is a situation where, look, if you look at the statistics, the home teams win the regionals a lot.
A lot.
Supers, a lot.
Yes.
So that's a real thing. Every time the Beavs, it's helped. I mean, the Goss Stadium is a pretty big advantage. So I think this is the beginning of the end for Oregon State. I don't even necessarily disagree with what the NCAA did, because obviously I haven't looked at the schedule for all 63 other teams in the program, and I'm sure you've got a little insight into this coming up later. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, I think if you are number 7 in basically every poll in the country, how do you slide from 7 to 20 to somewhere between 20 and 24? Because I looked at the same things you looked at.
Yep.
How are you not one of the 16? And here's the other thing I would say. That'd been 10 years in a row. You know that'd been 10 years in a row?
Yeah.
At some point, don't you got to get a little bit of the
benefit of the doubt?
Well, yeah. And here's the other thing. I know it's not 15,000 people like it is at LSU or something like that. However, we've talked about this many times. Goss is a special place to play baseball. The fans are literally in the back pockets of the players.
Yep.
And when it's 75 degrees down there on a nice spring, early summer's day, and some of the boys have maybe had a few pops in the parking lot before they got there, and they're having a couple more pops during the game, and man, that place is something else.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And then you got to start questioning. So last weekend they did like an inter-squad 3-game series. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you saw some of the pictures that came out of that. There were bleachers getting constructed in left field.
Really?
There was. So there was anticipation.
Where in left? Is there room between the batting cages or where the 20 guys stand?
No, it's between the bullpen and the batter's eye, the hitting facility. It's
so they
right where that tailgate is. They add in bleachers for regionals.
So those guys get booted for the regionals.
Yeah. Well, they add more. But
because there's no seating there anyway.
But they're building in anticipation because, of course, we're going to host a regional. We're
nice job, Scott Bonds.
Top 10 team in the country. Yeah, is that like his parting shot? But I think what really did Oregon State, and obviously schedule, RPI, all that kind of stuff, they didn't cancel games like a lot of the other national seeds did in the last week or two.
And we'll get to that later.
Losing Dax Whitney, I think the perception is if they had all 3 of those starters, that's a team that could make it to Omaha. And I think when you lose a starter like that, it just, even though your record and your playing level.
It gave him an out.
Exactly.
Agreed. I said to you when we heard the news, I think you actually texted me, and I basically said, we're done. And look, when you a program like Oregon State is this year, where it's not the offensive juggernaut it has been for the last, essentially 10 years.
Yeah.
One of the best pitching rosters in the country, even without Dax. Hey, you know what? maybe this is going to be one of those years where maybe it puts a little fire in the old locker room there, and there's a lot of middle fingers that are coming out right now. So
absolutely. I mean, who doesn't want to go to Corvallis South and pack that place in orange and beat Oregon?
And that's a whole additional conversation.
Yes.
But yes, and don't forget the Cougs are going to be there too.
Well, they'll Coug it somehow.
Well, still, but I mean, we don't have the Pac-12 yet. Here we are having a Pac-12 tournament right now.
Does that get people talking about it? Maybe.
I just wish they'd go back. I'm sorry to divert, but I mean, going down to those Pac-12 tournaments at Scottsdale was just phenomenal. I mean,
yes.
The conference run, because you'd get about halfway through conference play and you'd start seeing the season take shape, who's legit, who's not.
Yep.
And then you'd look down the schedule and go, oh, we got UCLA away in 2 weeks, and then we got USC at home the next week, and we got to beat them. And crap, the following week we got the Sun Devils, and then UW's in town. I mean, dude, pretty awesome schedule.
It was pretty good. I mean, it was SEC light. I mean, it was right there with them.
I'm not sure it was light for baseball.
Well, it was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
And it was fun to travel around and see those games because, hey, let's go down to, USC for a week. Well, USC is a bad example because that was not a nice place to go. But UCLA, Cal, Stanford, Arizona State, like that, those were fun little trips.
So how many of the Pac-12 stadiums have you been to?
I've not been to Washington State.
I haven't either.
I have not attended a game at UCLA or USC.
Me either.
Or Arizona.
So I'll say I've been to a game at Cal. Have not been. I've been to Sunken Diamond. I have not watched a game at Sunken Diamond. Yeah, UCLA, USC, no. And I have not been to Tempe, and I've seen almost as many Sun Devil games. Well, that's not true, but I've seen a lot of Sun Devil games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was fun trips. So let's dive into this regional a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon's a very good baseball team.
Oregon's a very good baseball team.
They hit 1 through 9.
They
pitch.
They have an unlimited budget. Yes, they have a very good baseball team.
True. So I don't think Yale has really a good chance of.
I think this is a race of two teams.
Well, Washington State's kind of on a roll right now. I mean, they went through that, was it Mountain West Conference or whatever, WAC conference that they're in. They put a nice little run together at the end of the season.
Yes, but what I didn't hear was University of Washington, USC, UCLA, Stanford, Arizona.
All right, so if we think it's between Oregon and Oregon State.
Yes.
Let's assume both teams win first game.
Okay.
So I don't know who's throwing for Oregon, but you assume Kleinschmidt goes game 1.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a Saturday night game in Oregon, at Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a fantastic baseball game.
I think it's going to be a fantastic baseball game. And here is my prediction. Without Dax, the only way the Beavs can move forward is to win that game.
I think whoever wins that game wins the regional.
Oh, I think that's like a 95% likely outcome. But I believe Oregon could slug their way out of a problem. I don't think we can.
Yeah.
And especially if you figure that we're going to probably go Kleinschmidt and Queen for day 1, Seguera and Johnny Holstaff for game 2, and then figure out game 3 later. That's kind of where we're at.
No, I totally agree. But Saturday game, if they got to get a big lead on Washington State, they got to be able to save some bullpen arms because I think it's Johnny Holstaff on Saturday to win that game. It has to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing: if, like you said, if they can get out there, and here's the other thing: Kleinschmidt, if it's an 8-0 ball game and he gives up a 2-run homer in the 5th, you don't have to go get him.
Oh no,
you can go leave him out there, and hopefully he gets you 8.
Yeah, I could see Kleinschmidt going 110, 120 in this game.
And this is the time of year to do it.
Yep,
so.
Exactly. Are you going to try to get down there Saturday?
TBD.
Yeah.
There's just, as you know as well, the summer baseball season starts the following weekend. I've got a few projects around the yard that I would like to finish before that starts.
Yes.
So maybe. What would probably happen if it was Oregon State on Monday afternoon?
Oh, that one.
That happens.
I'm very interested in that.
That one happens.
What about Sunday night?
Well, the fam's going to go to the beach, so maybe.
Yeah. I'll be watching from the comfort of my couch.
Yes. No, I'm more than likely I will just be doing the same this weekend.
Yeah, I see myself to kind of being locked in and switching around between game to game to game at all these different regionals because, like I said, I just love watching college baseball regionals. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. These kids are and the funny thing is like especially when you get into the games on Saturday and Sunday when the bullpens get a little lighter, a 6-run lead is not game over.
No.
I mean,
I don't think anybody assumes that a 6-run lead at that time is a done deal.
Yeah, I mean, these guys can just go ahead and just, all of a sudden it's always this. It's the leadoff guy gets walked, the next guy gets booted, and before you know it, you're off to the races, and there's a rally going. So,
I mean, I saw that at 12U, 13U, 14U all weekend. So
it happens.
That's how baseball works.
It happens at every level, but yeah. So.
I believe there was a botched double play in the Mariner game the other day that led to like a 4-run inning.
Yeah,
it happens.
There's a reason that you only give them 3, not 4 or 5 outs in an inning.
Yes, exactly. Well, I'm excited for regionals. Let's go Beavs. Let's see if we can go down to Oregon and take this. Want one-on-one coaching that makes a real difference? At Portland Baseball Club, our private lessons give players the focused attention they need to master their game. Work directly with top PBC coaches on your swing, pitching mechanics, fielding footwork, catching, whatever your game needs most. Every session is customized to your goals, your skill level, and your season, helping you see results fast. Train smarter, not just harder, and take your performance to the next level. Book your private lessons today at portlandbaseballclub.com. All right, let's get into some Major League Baseball. Let's talk about our first place Mariners.
Doesn't feel like they should be in first place right now.
Considering how much trash has been thrown on that team this year from the national media of their underperforming, they quietly just came back and took over first place. Now, they're still sub 500, 28 and 29 at first place, Seattle Mariners.
Right where they need to be.
Exactly.
Baby. Right where they need to be.
Yeah, I'm still panicking. There's still some things going on here that I'm not a big fan of, but a 3-game sweep down in Sacramento, that's a big deal. You got to get those wins when you can get them. But let's talk about the thing that everybody's talking about, piggybacks. This week, everybody picked up on the national scene that the Mariners are running a piggyback, and first, it was the second time they'd done it. So the first time Bryce Miller started, Luis Castillo came in, but they used a bridge guy. And then it was a 1-run game, so they went to Munoz in the middle of an inning with runners on first and second, which is never an ideal situation, right? Second time through, they flipped them, which is how a traditional piggyback system works. So Luis Castillo got the start, and Bryce Miller was in the bullpen. So Castillo goes 4 innings. I think it was 4 shutout innings, maybe 1 hit. Like, he was dealing pretty good. Don't know what his pitch count was. I didn't look that close at that.
I believe it was 68.
Well, good. Usually in a piggyback, it's about 70 is kind of your target number. So they pull Castillo out. They put Bryce Miller in. I think Miller finished the game. That is exactly how a piggyback situation is supposed to work.
Yeah, but that's not the issue.
That's not the issue. The issue is there was a confrontation between Dan Wilson and Castillo when he told him he was coming out of the game. The issue is that Bryce Miller, after the game, said that he didn't know that he was in relief that day until a day or 2 or 3 before the game.
Okay.
That's a huge deal. Pitchers get into routines. Like, if he's assuming that he's starting.
But Bryce Miller wasn't the issue that day.
The issue is, how do you run a piggyback system with 2 guys like this that are established major league pitchers, and nobody is communicating the process to them? If I'm running a piggyback system, I'm going to these two guys, and I'm going, okay, here's how this is going to work. Start number 1, Bryce Miller, you're starting. Luis Castillo, you're coming in relief. Starter is going to go 4 to 5 innings, roughly 70 pitches. The piggyback guy is supposed to finish the game. Then you're going to flip positions. So Luis Castillo start game 2. Bryce Miller comes in and relieves. You get to game 3. Bryce Miller starts. Luis Castillo. That's the piggyback system. They both get starts. They both get their relieving. Everybody's on the same page. You're going to tell me that Dan Wilson, Woodworth, the pitching coach, DePoto, this conversation never took place until after the second game of the piggyback? Because that's what everybody's saying. No communication to the players. I'd be pissed.
So it's less pissy for Miller because he's just coming back and doing rehab starts anyway, and he probably had a ceiling on his pitch count regardless because this was only his third appearance back.
Yeah.
So no, he's definitely thrown some AAA ball, whatever. I get all that, but he's not at full 100% game length yet. So Bryce, not a big deal for him. Now the other guy has been your opening day starter. Gets paid approximately $30 million a year to throw a baseball. And quite frankly, has been nothing but a consummate professional his entire time in Seattle.
Okay, so what are you getting at?
What I'm getting at is if I were him, I might have taken a bat and tried to hit Dan with it.
But you knew the system in place. If you didn't, that is a front office issue.
The fact I was actually watching that game on television live as it happened, and the only outcome that I could see was that Luis did not know that he had a clock that day because he threw 4 innings of I think 1 or 2 hit ball, hadn't give up a run.
It was great.
He was cruising, and there was absolutely no reason for him to come out of the game. So this is 1,000% coming from the front office.
Yes.
Whether it's the GM or the owner, maybe a combination of both.
Yes.
It's no secret that the Mariners are trying to trade Castillo. I mean, let's be honest, he's had a subpar start to the year. He has gotten a little long in the tooth. While he did have a good start, this deal, we got 7 starting pitchers, and he is probably number 7 on that list right now.
Yeah.
Emerson Hancock is throwing like an absolute ace right now. Had a no-no going into the 6th again the other night.
He is the ace of that staff right now.
Well,
it's not even a question.
So, and he was the guy earlier that you might have said might have been the odd man out. But anyway, the point is, look, they're trying to trade Castillo. They're trying to get him to have some good looks so that they can get something for him. That's what they're trying to do. And it sucks for him. And I think the front office should have handled it better because if that conversation would have been had 2-3 days ago in the locker room, well, they could have all lost their shit in the locker room. But by the time they get on the field, no one needs to see that.
No. And you got your manager who's, supposed to be there because he's a good team morale guy and, he's going to build a good team and all that kind of stuff. And now he's sitting in there doing crisis management in the middle of a game with a $30 million a year guy that, like you said, we're trying to bump up his numbers.
I mean, I got to tell you, I think this is a legit possibility. Let's assume it's DePoto.
It is. It has to be.
So we haven't got that in writing, but let's assume for the rest of this conversation it's DePoto.
Okay.
I think Castillo hasn't been throwing that well, and he was secretly hoping that he didn't throw that well and that he was going to be able to go get him in the 3rd or the 4th without having to even bother telling him.
Yep.
And the problem is the son of a gun went out and threw 4 innings with 1 hit baseball and is cruising at 60 pitches, and all of a sudden it's like, crap.
Yep. Well, and not only that, Bryce Miller goes in and snipes his win out from him. He goes 4 great innings, and Miller slides in the 5th and takes the win. So if we're trying to build the guy's stats up to increase his trade value, don't snipe wins from him.
If you guys listening out there could see my face right now, you would just be losing it.
Yes.
He got done dirty every which way from Sunday, didn't he?
He did, but again, this is what the system is. This is how this is supposed to work. And the fact that they didn't communicate
it's the communication that's the problem.
That is a systematic problem in the organization.
Yeah, and this is, look, it's things like this that need to be nipped in the bud because, look, at the end of the day, we are in a position where we are one of those teams now that finally starts to get those veteran free agents.
Yep.
Or the veteran trade, the guy that will waive the no-trade clause to maybe potentially go and chase a ring. And Seattle is built to win a World Series. Let's not sugarcoat this. We are in position to win a World Series.
Yes. Well, we're definitely going to – we are the best team in the AL West. We're the most complete team.
I think we're the most complete team in the American League.
I don't know about those Yankees. They're pretty darn good.
And they just got back arguably the best pitcher in baseball. But
and one more coming.
I will take at full strength. I think the Mariners are a better team than the Yankees all the way around right now.
Okay. I mean, I'd pay to see that in the ALCS.
I think a lot of people would pay to play that in the ALCS, and there's a very good chance we may be paying to see that in the ALCS.
Yes.
Although Detroit and Toronto still might have something to say.
I don't think Detroit has anything going in this season, which is why Scooble is going to be on the market very soon.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah. Look,
so the Yankees will continue to get better.
Especially if Paul Skeens is pitching for him after the All-Star break.
Well, Skeens is trying to break his he has a 2-game losing streak. He's never lost 3 games in a row in his career.
Well, maybe Livy just needs to give him a little loving or something. I don't know. But
did you see her reaction when he gave up that home run last time? That was pretty good.
But look, to bring it back, DePito needs to tighten his house, because we don't want veteran free agents sitting there going, do I really want to go to Seattle and then get shafted?
Yes. That's the problem.
That's what we cannot have. So this needs to get fixed. This needs to be done and dusted with immediately. We do not need this on, well, I would say Baseball Tonight, but that hasn't been on for a while.
Okay. MLB Central.
Or what's the one on MLB Network or whatever. But anyway, this needs to get done and dusted. It's a bad look. And I would be very surprised if Luis didn't already ask for a trade. And
I don't know if he's asking for a trade yet. This isn't the worst situation. He's an aging guy. He's only going to have to throw 4 to 5 innings at max intent instead of trying to go 6, 7.
Does he make the playoff roster?
Well, that's the question.
And I don't think he does.
Well, hopefully he's traded by then. I mean, we both assume he's traded.
But right, that's why I'm saying if I'm Castillo, I ask for a trade now. And maybe I've got more options. Because at the end of the day, let's say they don't trade him and he's an insurance policy, he's not going to make the playoff roster.
I think he still makes the playoff roster. I mean, would you rather have him or Cooper Criswell in your bullpen?
Well,
I mean, if he's willing to accept it, so already he's willing to accept the piggyback role, because he didn't come out and be like, I'm not piggybacking. I'm a 15-year veteran. I'm not doing this. Like he's already willing to take one for the team. He did it last year in the playoffs, right? I mean, he had kind of that short outing and was ready to go out of the bullpen. That's a big bullpen arm. So the question then becomes is if you do get to the postseason and let's say we do have a 5-man rotation, which we know is not going to happen, wouldn't that be nice to have a Luis Castillo or a Bryce Miller coming out of the bullpen, or both? Because now they're both basically long relievers. They've been conditioned to go 4 innings, 70 pitches. You need that in the playoffs.
You might have George Kirby coming out of that bullpen also.
Well, or Cade Anderson. I mean,
Cade might be one of the top 3 by the time. Anyway,
but knowing that playoff baseball, most starters are only going to, one time through the order seems to be the new norm. You need a good established long reliever.
Agreed, but all of that is fluff, because at the end of the day, we need another big bat in the middle of the lineup, and that's what he's going to be a part of.
Well, when are we getting our big bat in the middle of the lineup back? Have you heard anything? I haven't seen any news on Cal.
They've been very quiet on 29, and look, my only deal is that we're obviously doing fine. I would like to see them go and get another catcher. Mitch is great, but... And then again, I guess it depends on where we're sitting and how long this goes. By the way, wouldn't it be nice to have Mike Ford right now?
Henry Ford.
Ford.
He's not even in the big leagues.
Really?
He didn't make the club out of spring training, nor has he been, I think, on the big league roster all year. So, yeah, I'm not worried about that one.
So
Mitch Garver's doing just fine.
Mitch is doing just fine. Paredes is, what he is. But
you see him hit that ball out the other day? That was awesome. That kid plays with some energy. I like that.
Well, that's fine. He's hitting a $190.
I mean, Garver's hitting 200.
No, I got no problem. Look, 3 years ago, the guy was an all-star. I mean, it's not like he can't play the game.
God, I wish we had that guy 3 years ago.
We did. Was it 8 years ago? What was it?
I don't know.
Wish we had that guy 3 years ago. No, we had him like we did 8 years ago, whatever it was.
But the guy who is starting to play like an MVP? Julio.
I thought you were going to go somewhere else there. But
Luke Raley?
No.
Leading the team in home runs, leading the team in RBIs.
For the amount of money he's getting paid, he damn well should be playing like this.
But, Julio's got 10 home runs, 11 doubles. Strikeout numbers are still a little high, but, hitting 260, slugging 440, Can we put the slow start talk away for this year?
Well, what if this is his slow start,
Wouldn't that be nice?
right?
Yeah, I would take that.
Comes out hitting 350 after the All-Star break and goes and drops 15, 20 home runs down the stretch.
Yeah, and then now that takes a little bit more pressure off Cal to maybe not have to rush back quite as soon. I did see a podcast with AJ Pierzynski, who was a catcher, and he was showing pictures of when he had a like oblique strain, flat strain, or whatever Cal's dealing with, and it was like black and blue, the whole side of his body. He's like, I tried to work through it, and he was a left-handed hitter. He goes, I just couldn't swing.
And the worst thing, you want to know what the worst thing for you when you have an oblique strain or something like that? You want to know what the worst possible thing that can happen to you, and you cannot control it?
I don't know. What is it? Hit by pitch?
A sneeze.
Oh, okay.
Can you imagine how much it hurts when you sneeze, especially if you're one of those guys that gets on a roll for 3, 4, 5, 6 of them?
Yeah. Sneeze, a cough.
You are just absolutely in pain.
Yeah. That's when you fall down the stairs.
So, back to the Mariners.
Okay.
I think they are primed to go on a run.
Yes.
I think this run is going to start about 15 games after Cal's return. I would also like to point out a couple other things. In a way too early hot take. Ready for this? Because this is a big one.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I think Mr. Emerson might be all everything in the next couple of years. That kid's good.
He's good.
Like, he's not good. He's good.
And you know why you know he's good? It's because our shortstop has already come out and said, I'll move to third base.
Yeah. Yeah.
The writing is on the wall.
That kid is the real deal.
Yes.
I mean, what do you have? 3 doubles in one game. Then he goes and hits a triple again last night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's good defensively, too.
You know, here's the problem. We gave Donovan's getting all this money. Where's he going to play?
Well, that's the problem now is you got Rayleigh's hitting. I mean, he's our best power hitter at the moment. So you're not moving him off of right field because that would be the idea, right? Is Emerson at third, Donovan and right. Donovan has to be in that lineup, though. That's our leadoff hitter.
Well, I could see the lineup as eventually Donovan, Julio, or Emerson potentially.
No, not as a rookie. I think you leave him at the bottom. Less pressure.
Okay. Well, I said eventually. I didn't say today.
Yeah.
Okay, for the rest of this year, you're going Donovan, you're going Julio, you're going Cal, you're going Naylor, Rosarina, Rayleigh, the rest.
Yeah.
Cole
Young's no slouch.
No, Cole Young's not. But, you know, if you're going to be a World Series contender, your 7-8 hitters have to be guys that can still hit 20 home runs.
Well, yeah, look at the Blue Jays series. I mean, who beat us?
Yeah.
It wasn't Bichette. It wasn't
Springer had a
Vladdy.
nice series there.
He's always killed us. But it was the 7, 8, 9 guys that were getting us. But I do agree with you. I think the Mariners are poised to make a big run. I mean, just looking at the June schedule, we got the Mets coming to town. Dumpster fire. Tigers at Detroit. Dumpster fire.
On the verge of becoming a dumpster fire.
4-game set with the Orioles.
Who knows what Baltimore shows up.
Yep. But Adley for comeback player of the year right now. Come on.
He's dropped off a little bit.
What are you talking about?
Well, he started off hitting like 300. Now he's back to like 260.
Well, he got injured, and then he came back from the IL, and he's been on fire since he's come back.
Yeah, no, look, if he can get anywhere near 270-ish with, 20 to 25 home runs, and if he could sniff 100 RBIs. Yeah. But he normally hits in 2-hole, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's hitting – well, he's been anywhere between 2 and 6 this year.
I was just going to say it's going to be tough to get the RBI numbers in the 2-hole, but
yeah. But so we got at Baltimore. So we have a nice little 10-day road trip. At Detroit, at Baltimore, at the Nationals with no days off.
Jeez.
That's a rough one. And then we come home, we got the Orioles again, and then the Red Sox.
Although the other thing is, the road trip between the Orioles and the Nationals is a 20-minute drive.
Sure.
So at least that's not like they have to travel a long way.
Yeah, and it's not midsummer, so it's not 90% humidity.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting. I think you're right, though. If Cal's on his way back in the next week or so, which, I haven't heard anything. So
I think I can
make a run.
I think I can solve our right field problem.
Okay.
Luis Castillo, Brendan Donovan, maybe Bryce Miller.
Whoa, this is a big name.
Probably something else stashed in AA or AAA, not called Lozado. Or what's his name? Montero?
Just call him Montez.
Montez. For our power hitting 3-hole hitter.
Okay.
It's your guy. You said it last week.
Who is it?
Jordan.
You know, it's funny because Josh Hader's on my fantasy team, and he's been out the whole season. And one of my buddies made me a trade offer. He hasn't even pitched all season. And I'm like, wow, do I keep Hader or do I make the deal? Because the Astros are a sinking ship. So you have to assume that they're going to start dumping some of these expensive pieces. So I'm like, well, Hader's probably going to get traded. But I think Jordan gets traded too. I don't see them making a deal within the division. Even if it's a 3-team deal, I don't see them making a trade within the division. But that deal makes sense. We're giving up a lot, though.
Getting a lot.
You're giving up 3 legitimate, top-of-the-line MLB players. Luis Castillo is a starter on any team outside of probably the Yankees and maybe the Pirates.
Okay.
You're giving up Bryce Miller, who's going to be a 2 if he stays healthy.
Okay.
And you're giving up Brendan Donovan, who's a fantastic utility player and a spark plug. You're giving up 3 major league guys for 1 guy. You'd make that deal?
Is he a top 10 bat in Major League Baseball?
When healthy, yes.
Yes. Because I think I'm really only giving up 2. I get the Luis Castillo deal, but... And the thing is, we don't need Brendan Donovan.
Well, but who's going to play third base?
J.P. Crawford.
Yeah, but he's not a long-term solution over there.
Why not? The guy still hits 260, 270 with 20 home runs and 30, 40 doubles.
Because that's not what you need out of third baseman. You need more home runs, and you need a little bit better defense.
Yeah, but his defense is fine. No, I'm going to argue with that on the defense. But the guy
did you see that throw he made on that play up the middle last week?
I don't see them all. No, I did not see that one.
I think he threw it into the dugout.
Well, it happens.
No, like he missed the first baseman by like 30 feet.
You know what? Maybe he had a booger on his finger. I don't know. I mean,
what do you? All right, we're going to let that one go.
I mean, at the end of the day, the guy playing shortstop might have 40 home runs and 120 RBIs one day.
Yes.
So, I'm not going to use a name, but there's a name I'm already starting to think of.
Yes. Short term, I could see JP at third, being an okay.
For a year or two.
It's not Brendan Donovan.
No, but you ain't getting the bat by trading J.P. Crawford either.
True.
So, hey, this is sometimes you got to push him in. And
this is the time to push him in.
This is the time to push him in.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's hope the Mariners can go on a little run. A lot of games coming up, big road trip coming up. So hopefully, like you said, this is the beginning of the run.
Hey there, I'm Chad with Jackson Painting and Remodel. And if you're looking to give your home a fresh new look, you've come to the right place. Whether you need a bold new color for your living room or a fresh coat to brighten up your home's exterior, my team and I have got you covered. We specialize in both indoor and outdoor painting, using only the best materials to make sure your space looks amazing and stands the test of time. If you're ready to transform your home, visit jacksonpainting.com. I'd love to come by, chat about your ideas, and give you a free estimate. At Jackson Painting and Remodel, we don't just paint, we make your vision a reality. Again, visit jacksonpainting.com or call 503-620-2600.
All right. We're here with Tony, the co-founder of SolVita Wellness Spa in Tigard. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Joe. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about this new wellness spa that you opened up about 4 months ago?
2.5 months ago.
2.5 months ago?
Yeah, beginning of March.
Awesome. Right here in Tigard. So can you kind of talk about all the different services that the spa offers?
Sure. Our kind of flagship offerings are infrared and traditional sauna. That was the research behind those that we wanted to really make sure that we got this going for. But we also have red light therapy, PEMF, it's pulse electrical magnetic frequency. It's just a low frequency, a lot of good research on healing and wound healing on that one, and compression. But then we also have massage. We've got regular relaxation massage, and we've got something called buccal massage. It's a intraoral jaw massage, and microneedling.
Okay, let's dive into a little bit more of that because there's a lot going on
Sure,
there.
yeah.
So saunas, let's start off with the sauna. Sauna culture in Finland. I got to visit Finland last summer.
Nice.
Saunas are everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and people are happy there. So
Right.
there's like some sort of correlation between being in a sauna and being happy, which is a good thing. So how do you feel like on the American side? It seems like saunas are starting to pop up everywhere. We just spent some time in Bend, and there was mobile saunas that were like pulling up to the Deschutes, where you could hop in the sauna for 15 minutes and then go cold plunge in the Deschutes and kind of repeat. So it's becoming a very popular, well, not just therapy, but just a lifestyle thing. So what kind of drew you guys to opening up and having 3 saunas? You have 2 traditional saunas.
Correct.
And the 1 infrared.
Yeah. We definitely we wanted to make sure that we have availability for anybody that wants to come in and use sauna because of what you said, because it's growing so much in popularity, not only for I guess even just because it's trending, but it's because of the health benefits, really. So like you said, it's really popular in Finland, and there's this amazing study on Finnish traditional saunas, really robust, over 2,000 people, followed for 20 years, and how their cardiac benefits, they had a reduction in cardiac events by almost 63%. They had all-cause mortality went down by about 42%, which means anything that'll kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just amazing, right? You don't see those numbers. Like, statistically significant is typically much smaller than those numbers. And so because of those health benefits, I think that's really part of the draw for it right now. But then, like you said, also everybody's really happy. There's a lot of really good brain benefits for it as well. So yeah, that's part of the reason. We also, because of the detox, there's just, no matter how you look at it these days, there's a lot of toxins that we're taking in, and both of these do a really, really good job of detoxifying the system. That was how I got into it, was through a detox protocol that I was on. And I had started with the infrared sauna and have since grown to really love the traditional sauna. It is a little bit hotter, so we ended up having both because, first of all, the infrared sauna is gaining so much in popularity, but it's also a cooler temperature. It's 130 to 150 degrees, right?
Yeah, that's a lot different than 190 to 200.
Yeah, for sure. And so we do keep the other 2, the traditionals, hotter, and you have the water that you can always put on it to make it a little bit hotter. But the infrared came around, I want to say I heard about 30, 40 years ago, for those that couldn't handle the heat or didn't like it. Some people just don't like heat.
Yeah.
Of the traditional sauna. What I tend to tell folks that come in here is that as long as you're challenging your system, you're getting the benefits. So the numbers that I said before about the all-cause mortality and the cardiac benefits, those are if you go 4 days a week at 19 minutes. But even if you go twice a week, you're sitting somewhere around 27%. So you're still getting benefit no matter when you come. And again, that to me says, again, the 130, if you can't tolerate heat, that's a big challenge to your system. So you're still getting the benefits equivalently to somebody in the hotter sauna.
Absolutely. Would you recommend doing sauna before a workout or after a workout?
You tend to want to do it after a workout, because it definitely will flush through some of the stuff that you just worked up, for 1. For 2, it can kind of slow you down a little bit, kind of relax you, and that's not necessarily what you're looking for before the workout. If you can do it immediately post-workout, fantastic, but definitely the best benefits there. But anytime you do it before bed, a lot of people do it before bed. Some people do it in the morning, whatever time works best for you.
Yeah, I like to do it in the morning because I'm a warm sleeper anyway. So doing it at night, I just feel like my body temp is just way too high. So being able to kind of do it in the morning after a workout or just to start your day has kind of been ideal for me.
Excellent. Yeah. Whenever works, just get it in.
Awesome. So you also talked about red light therapy. So you have a red light therapy bed in addition to the red light sauna.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about the bed.
So the bed, one of the main differences when we're actually looking at the difference between an infrared sauna and the red light therapy bed is the heat component. So you're in a closed container, if you will, in the infrared, and the infrared is a full spectrum of the near infrared and the far infrared.
Okay.
And so that's where you're going to get that heat that penetrates down to the cellular level for the detox and for all of the benefits that we were talking about. Now, the red light therapy, think like a tanning bed almost.
With no heat.
With no heat.
It surprises you.
Yeah. So that one, our red light therapy bed has red light and it has near infrared light. The red light is 660 wavelengths, and then the near infrared is 850. And all that means really is how far it penetrates into the body.
Okay.
Now, granted, the near infrared will produce a tiny bit of heat, but it really just depends on the person, again, and your heat tolerance if you feel like that's too much. But again, most people don't. Nobody so far has said, "Hey, that's too hot for me. Can you turn that off?" But I can turn it off.
The first time I did it, it was like, all right, I'm expecting heat because I'm in this red glowing, and it just reminded me of a tanning booth. And,
right. Yeah.
But then I'm like waiting for it to warm up, and it just never warms up. I'm like, am I missing? Am I doing something wrong?
Right.
But no, it's just the light penetrating the skin.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's cool technology.
Yeah. We've got a client here that calls it the vegan gluten-free tanning bed.
There you go. Yes. That's awesome.
So, and the different wavelengths, so the 660, just really quick to touch on it, is more like your topical. So that's going to be your collagen, your wrinkles, that type of thing. But then the 850 is the one that penetrates a little bit deeper. So it goes down to the tendons, the bones, the joints, the muscles, and does some healing there.
Yeah. And like you said, that's a really good thing for like if you've been injured or recovering. Because it gets down to that cellular level for the recovery piece.
Yep, exactly.
Is it increasing blood flow? Is that the idea is that how it's recovering?
It increases blood flow. The heat also kind of vibrates the cell, not to get too technical on it, but it's that vibration that produces the heat, right? And when you're producing that heat, you're actually producing more water. But another really good benefit is it oxygenates the cell, which we know everything good happens when we have oxygen, right? And so that's actually where they're finding some of the research for Alzheimer's benefits, because if you can oxygenate the cell through the body and then the oxygenated cell, blood, is ran through the brain, you get benefits for clearing out the brain. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so far we're 2 for 2 on benefits to coming here. So, PMF.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So I
had never heard of this one before. So saunas, red light therapy. I'd seen a little bit of that being in the sports world, but these mats are totally new to me.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. So we have the mats, and they go from all different. So you can have. They're actually FDA approved for pets, and you can have almost like a little wand, if you will. Okay. All the way to the mats, and then all the way up to like giant beds. The intensity is going to be a little bit different for each of those. Ours is all of them are a low frequency. So I'll share just I'll try to be as quick as possible here without going too far into it. But one of the guys that discovered PEMFs was doing research on salamanders and how they will, like if they lose a limb, it will regrow, right? Yeah. So what makes it regrow? Why do they regrow and other ones don't? So they tested the frequency at the skin site where the limb disappeared, however it disappeared, and it's in a low frequency, only between 0 and 10, that it will start to regrow. If they went too high, it didn't regrow. If they went too low, it didn't regrow. So this is where they have found that low frequency, so it doesn't mean more is better, right?
Yeah.
So we stay in this low range to help the body heal all the way down to the bone.
Wow, that's interesting.
It is. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's crazy how good technology is these days. And it keeps evolving and evolving. Yeah. I mean, who would have thought you were learning from salamanders how to recover?
Exactly. Now, granted, we're not growing limbs here.
No. Disclaimer. That'd be a miracle.
Right. Yeah, I think it'd be real popular then.
Yeah, absolutely. You also have some Normatec compression therapy. Mm-hmm. So you have the legs, the shoulders. Mm-hmm. Do you have the hips?
We do have some hips as well. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I did see a picture of Bo Jackson, I believe, Chad Jackson from Jackson Painting, with the legs, the arms, and the hips. He looked like the Michelin Man.
I know. I'm like, get comfortable where you are because you're not moving for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't generally do all of them at the same time. We were testing,
They weren't on. They were just for a picture, right?
Yeah. But yeah, the legs are definitely the most popular, and there's a lot of good reason, just because it gets the everything moving. It gets the bad out and gets the good in at the cellular level. It moves your lymph. It also, all of our stuff, we really try to make sure that everything is kind of like a big hug to the nervous system. And the pattern in the Normatec, the way that it inflates and then deflates, and it does it in a 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern, the nervous system loves it, and it will recognize the pattern and bring you back into kind of a more calm nervous system state.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you see so much of those with professional athletes.
Yeah.
It's a huge recovery tool with the athlete.
Yep, absolutely. Again, post-workout or the day after a workout is really nice for these. Again, just because you might be feeling a lot of soreness, and we can kind of flush a little bit out of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so we've covered, 4 different things now? So let's get on to the massages.
Okay.
So everyone loves a good massage.
Absolutely.
You have some great massage therapists. Tell us a little bit about the types of massages that you're doing and this new facial massage that seems to be really popular.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your massages and the new massage.
Sure. So the relaxation massage is really just what it is, right? So it's that's Tina. She's amazing. People walk out of that room so happy and are almost always rebooking, saying, when is she available next?
Well, she also has a great playlist.
Oh,
yeah. It's not your traditional
Is that what you
spa
remember?
music.
Okay.
It was, a little Mumford and just kind of a good chill playlist. So a little different than your traditional spa music.
That's funny. That's good to know.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have those, and that, again, has been such a hit. And then the buccal massage therapist has also been a massage therapist for 15 years, as has Tina. But she is also doing, at our spa here, she's only doing buccal massage. And again, so this one starts as an intraoral, or it starts as actually a lymph massage through the neck. But then she will, if you're comfortable, actually put her hands in your mouth and release the muscles around your cheek, around your eye. Now, this is marketed at this point, still very heavily marketed as a natural facelift, because that's how it started. Oh. If you release the tight muscles, say in the cheekbones, they plump out and it lifts the skin. However, like for example, our massage therapist, Daniela, has noticed that a lot of her clients that have chronic neck and shoulder pain are finding relief when she's able to incorporate this intraoral, just because everything's connected, right?
Absolutely.
That's just all there is to it, right? And how many of us are jaw clenchers? And if you chronically do that every single night, it's going to start to affect the muscles throughout the skull, throughout the neck, which are attached to the shoulders, right? So.
Yeah. I learned about that in college.
Okay.
In junior college, I played with a kid who had chronic shoulder injuries, like couldn't throw, was always sore, ended up going to the dentist, had some dental work done, and the shoulder soreness went away after the dental work.
Wow, that's cool. That's so funny.
I never realized that was connected. So the body's all connected. It's crazy.
It is. It's amazing.
It's wild.
Well, and it's even, she has found with some of her other clients that because there is a embryological connection between your jaw and your pelvic floor, so all the way down to the pelvic floor, that she's finding that people are having benefits. And so I think that actually so far the clients that we've had come in for that, I don't think any of them have come in for the facelift part of it. They're coming in for pain and for that clenching of the jaw and to release through the neck and the shoulders. And
how long is one of those massages?
we've got 4 left at $150 for the 50-minute as our introductory rate, and then it'll be $250 for a 60-minute.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. And the relaxation massage, that's one, you can do weekly, you can do monthly. Whereas this one, you might front load it a little bit with a couple more, but then it's almost, I foresee this as being like a maintenance, even if you are using it for, the facelift part of it, because it will start to stick around.
Yeah. Wow, that's wild.
It's pretty cool.
It sounds fun. Sounds very interesting.
It's very, very interesting. I do highly suggest everybody try it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and then the last part of the spa is
the microneedling.
The microneedling. So tell us a little about it. This isn't acupuncture. When I first heard needling, I was like, oh, it's acupuncture, but it's not acupuncture.
It's not. The one that our microneedler uses is an acupuncture based, and she is an acupuncturist. And this one, it's a little pen is what they call it, and it's got lots of little needles in it, and she runs it over your face or your neck or wherever your target area is, and it's essentially collagen induction. There are little needles that go into the skin. That's the long and short of it. She can adjust how far they go in, whether they go in just pretty shallow or all the way, not all the way, that sounded horrible, but deeper.
Different parts of the body, different depths.
Yeah, exactly. So this one, if we're looking at, again, more aesthetic, she does do face, neck, and chest. But then there's also hair treatment protocol that she can do to help regrow hair, either on the scalp or even on, say, through the eyebrow. Scar treatments that she can work on. So there's a lot of applications for it. And again, like I said, everything is a hug for the nervous system. Now, granted, needles on your face is not necessarily a hug for the nervous system, but another part of that is to work from the cellular level all the way up through to, obviously, the skin. And so that's where, the PEMF and the red light therapy and the infrared, those all penetrate down to the cellular level, whereas then we go, into the compression and the massage, which is a little bit deeper into the muscles, the microneedling, and again, the red light therapy with the 660, more that topical.
Wow, you're covering all the bases.
Trying.
Literally from head to toe. They even have foot detox.
We do have foot detox.
So
yes, I haven't mentioned that.
It is head to toe.
Yeah, exactly. The foot detox, at the very least, it's a really nice foot bath. But there is a little bit of research out there that it can actually pull heavy metals, which is great.
That's the importance of the copper bowl, right?
It is one
parts.
of the, it is one of them, yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
It's pretty.
It does make this room nice and comfortable. The picture of Mount Hood really brings it all together.
It really does. Some fishermen took that one.
Yeah, wild. So we deal with a lot of athletes. A lot of our Portland Baseball Club players listen to the podcast, parents. So taking this wellness spa and directing it more directly towards an athlete, what type of services do you think would be the best for an athlete? What ages do you recommend working with? How can SolVita Wellness Spa be beneficial for specifically a baseball player, but really athletes in general?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think the first thing we definitely look to is the compression, again, because it's so widely used to help with the muscle soreness. But then the sauna, also, a sauna post-workout is fantastic, again, because of the detox. Anything that's detoxing the cell is going to do that at the muscle level as well, and help to get rid of all those things that are causing muscle soreness. The PEMF and the red light, again, working at the cellular level, anything where you can start to do that wound healing. You might think of, the soreness from a workout or from a game, maybe not necessarily as a wound healing, but it's little micro tears in the muscle, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That is what it is. So both of those could definitely be beneficial as well.
Okay.
And we 16 and older for everything except for the massage. So the massage is 18 and over. However, for that buccal massage, I just recently had her have a session with my son who just had braces. And he is 16. And we have determined that we will do 14 and over for anybody with braces, because not only for the pain of it, but like I was mentioning to her, I said, even just as an adjunct, just to help it. Because again, if your friend noticed like something in the tight mouth, the muscles were causing pain through the shoulder. Well, what if we release those and you get greater benefit from the braces, the structure that's on your teeth? So
yeah, or the pressure and
absolutely
everything that braces do to your mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to book a session. How do we find you?
Sure.
What's the process here?
So we are in Tigard. We're off of Barrows Road near Progress Ridge, right up, if you're familiar with Murray and Shoals Ferry. And you can find us at solvitaspa.com. That's SOLVITA spa.com. You can also book directly through there. You can call us at 503-521-7979. And we offer everything, all of the services that I just mentioned, we offer a la carte. You can always just come in and book for a one-off. You can also get some packages, like we've got some 5-pack and 10-pack of sauna, for example, and massage. But then we also have something called core services, which is the compression, the PEMF, the red light therapy, and any of the saunas. Those are included in our membership packages. So we do offer memberships. We have our founders memberships, which we are closing as of June 1st. So
yes, the opening special.
Right around the corner here. Those range from $129 to $429, depending on just really what you need. And then once we go back to our regular prices, it's $149 to $499 for the packages. And the packages largely depend on how many of those core services that you are looking to get. So say, I said the $499 one, which is a really robust package, but you get 24 sessions. So if you're looking to be that person that wants to do the 4 sessions, like I said, the 4 sessions of 19 minutes of the sauna is where you're looking at the greatest benefit for those for sauna. That's what that was designed for. But even at for the founders at the $129, you get 8 core services. So that's 2 a week, which can make a significant impact depending on what your goals are.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Founders Deals ends on June 1st.
Correct.
So we got a few more days to go ahead and get that introductory special.
Yep.
Everything can be booked on the website.
Yep, everything can be booked on the website. We also have some specials as far as senior wellness hours and military specials. So feel free to give us a call if you have any questions.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us on the podcast, and best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Joe.
Thanks for listening to Lineups and Lures. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to rate, like, and share the podcast. It helps us reach more fans, more anglers, and more stories worth telling. We'll see you next time, whether it's out on the field or out on the water.